welcome back, everyone. Well, you guys are at the Obsidian Veil Bathhouse across the street from the Bronze Fist Inn. There are two other patrons here. An older man who's just kind of minding his own business and hasn't really seemed to take much of an interest in any of you. Nyra was, I believe, in one of the hot tubs, and the rest of you were in the pool before Vael went over to the other hot tub that had Lady Alaris in it. And I think you had just sat down and had a few words with her.
Yep.
Well, she kind of, she makes room for you. She doesn't seem bothered that you've joined her. It's fairly spacious here as well, so you have her full attention, Vael.
So, lady, what brings you to the Obsidian Veil?
Oh, well, their bathhouse is always quiet in the morning. I think this is probably the busiest it's been in a while.
Oh, well, I apologize for breaking the peace. I have heard good things myself, but it's my first visit.
Well, what do you think of it so far?
Well, the view's incredible.
She doesn't seem you get the sense that she's almost used to that. And so I suppose a traveling man like you is looking for some fun while he's stopped in town.
Oh, I suppose you could say that, but I don't know. The most fun I could have is procuring the right kinds of items for my buyers back in the capital.
Oh, you're from the capital.
Me personally, no, but my clients are.
And where are you from personally?
I'm from, well, I'm a man of the world. Sorry, I am trying to recall the name of that dock town on the west coast there. I don't have the map pulled up.
Aha!
Canis Bay, is that the one you were thinking about?
Sorry?
Canis Bay?
Are you thinking about Tin Harbor?
Hold on. Canis Bay is the one I was thinking of.
Okay.
Well, I'm originally from Canis Bay, but spent most of my days on a ship and the rest of them traveling the continent.
And are any of these people your company?
The tall one over there is my bodyguard. And the rest are... The rest are patrons of the Bronze Fist who I met last night.
When you point out Leif, her eyebrows raise a little bit, and then she goes, "You have a good hand for picking a bodyguard. I wouldn't want to mess with him."
Yes, well, the intimidation factor is really what I hire him for. Don't get me wrong, he can handle himself, but so can I. I'd just rather not get in a fight in the first place.
Leif has something to interject with.
Not with that 18 that I rolled on my self-control check, so. I was rolling to see how hard I was rolling my eyes, and it's not very, so.
Well done. And you, Lady Alaris, where do you hail from?
I'm from Endelos. Though I have been in Mornhold for most of my life.
Oh.
I don't, can't really say that I'm very familiar with where I'm from. I quite like it here. Safe, and a lot of people come through here, and I've found that I have a knack for hosting.
Oh. And what do you host people for? Are you some sort of event planner, or?
She had already said that she owns a tavern.
I forgot that. Not in my notes. What did she mention the name of the tavern?
Nope. Just that it's the best in the trade ward.
Well, this tavern that you run, best in the trade ward, what's it called?
The Velvet Crown. I am always keeping an eye out for new entertainment, so I will be checking out this performance this evening.
I'm glad to hear it. And should you hire her for an evening of singing at the Velvet Crown, would I get an invitation as well?
I think you would fit right in there.
I can imagine so. The trade ward is something of my people.
Yes, and if you're looking to rub elbows with more important folk, you're more likely to find them at the Velvet Crown than the Bronze Fists.
Well, I've also had my ear turned to certain soirees that take place in the Glimmerfall ward.
The parties they throw there.
From what I hear, they're the right kind of movers and the right kind of dealers.
You usually have to catch them on outside the ward if you want to establish a connection there.
And any regulars of your tavern happen to be involved in these?
Like I said, all sorts travel through my tavern.
Well, I look forward to the opportunity then.
As do I. Is there anything else that you would like to know from her?
No, I think he'll keep up pleasant small talk.
All right. Then, I think for maybe the next 20 minutes or so, she's keeping up that small talk with you. And then the man who was bathing nearby you just abruptly stands up, grabs a towel, leaves the room. He hasn't made any gesture to try to get to know anybody here at all. And the woman seems to like visibly relax when he does leave. There's like a slight easing in her posture.
Will an insight check get me any more than that?
Um,
Just as a player, I'm already reading into that quite a bit. So.
You could go ahead.
You can certainly try.
Also, just ask.
Yeah, I could, but
I guess you can see if you notice. You are still thrown off by what happened to you this morning. You're like second guessing yourself if you're reading this person right.
Fair enough. Well, he'll kind of give it a minute, and without like looking directly at her, he'll just say, "Some tension between you and him."
I don't exactly love getting into knowing people with the eyes of Mornhold on me. Nothing against him personally.
Trying to figure out if that's like a term that if I ask about it will kind of expose us too much.
I'm assuming this is related to the two different military symbols. Is it one an eye, or was it a hand in a tower?
There was an eye in the hand.
No, there was an eye in the tower.
Oh, sorry.
I mean, you did tell her you're new in town.
You're only
We're
going to get
not
you
new
and
to
Leif in trouble,
Hedgrath,
not us.
and
Fair.
5-on-1, you can take her.
Oh, was he military?
Yes. You
How
couldn't
can you tell?
by the armor that he had before he came in here.
Oh, I didn't see him in the armor. I've only seen him naked. Not impressed.
Yes, not that I have anything of particular interest to him to hide, but you never know. Things are tense lately.
No kidding. Especially with those savages from the north stirring up trouble.
Sometimes I wonder about that.
Oh, truth be told, I think a lot of people are wondering about that these days.
Well, we thought we would go in there and crush them, and I have heard some rumors at the tavern last night that that wasn't the case. Well, maybe they aren't as beneath us as we have thought.
Yeah, well,
She like kind of checks when she says that. Like, checks the room.
Yeah, I think lowering his voice a little bit, seeing that she's wary, Vael will just kind of lean in and say, "Well, I've heard rumors that they connect with magic in a way that we couldn't dream of."
Where do you hear these rumors?
North towards the border. Of course, small villages and border towns, you never know with them, but the fear is real.
You think they have witches running around?
That's what the villagers would have us believe. But I don't know. After our own mages were pushed back so readily, one begins to wonder.
Our own mages?
Well, perhaps I've said too much, but I heard a rumor that we've lost a number of them.
She's going to come very close to you, like encroaching in on your space now. And she puts an arm like right over your shoulder so that her hand's like resting on the outside tile behind you.
Mhm.
And she's kind of like making it seem as though she is flirting with you as her voice lowers. And she's like trailing a finger down the center of your chest, and very quietly she says to you, I do think you should be careful about what you're speaking of, but also we should definitely stop by the Velvet Crown.
I wouldn't miss it for the world. Though, of course, I won't go unless you're going to be there, and I expect you'll be at the Bronze Fist this evening.
That's true. I'm sure I'll be seeing you around. And she like presses up against you a little bit before she pushes herself away. Now, is there anything else that you guys would like to do here? I know that David had some suspicions about the staff here, so I just want to ask before we leave.
I'm just, if any staff come in for any reason, I'm just going to observe them and it's like, are these the tieflings from last night? How many people work here?
How long do you guys think that you stay here?
I mean, we got stuff to do today, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah.
I want to get out early. so.
Like,
Vael's gonna need a minute.
or 9.
This man.
Or 9.
I
I think during this, if someone would have come in, I would have asked for like if they had any like hair oils or products or anything.
Yeah, you're well tended to here, but if you guys are staying for like less than an hour, you only see the 2 tiefling, the one that was working the front desk, and then the one that was like the one that kind of like led you in through here. And when you ask her for like some of those like products, she brings over to you like a small personalized basket for you. It has like a little it's kind of like a small wicker basket, and it has a face cloth in it, and it has like a lavender scented soap and just a bunch of little amenities for you to use while you're here that are kind of like essentially travel size.
This is fantastic.
Well,
Do you think? Oh, I was gonna say Raelynn will just turn to Alina and just say like, "Do you think they would show us the private room so potentially if we come back, we'd know what we're paying for?"
You can always ask.
I may do that on my way out. Spread the word about the wonderful bard, Alina. Are you? Oh, go.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, are you staying much longer?
What you're asking me?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm ready whenever you are.
Okay. I may start to head out, or at least wrap up. But take your time if you want. I'm just going around town. You do whatever you need to do.
I'll go with you.
Okay.
Since Nyra was positioned like close to the hot tub, could she have heard most of the conversation with that woman?
she would have heard everything but the actually, if you wanted to try to overhear even the last part, you could roll a perception check for me. But you would have heard everything before that.
I want to roll an insight on her just to see if she's like talking up her place more than it's worth going. Like, if those people from Glimmerfall or
Yeah.
really go there, like, or is this just business chat?
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and do that. You do, like, you see that she's moving in towards Vael and that she's lowering her voice, and you kind of like, you're like sitting there enjoying the hot tub. Everything else has kind of like drowned out to you, and you're able to just like pick up what she says to him, and what he says back to her. While you're trying to read the words that she's saying, and you're flicking your glance here and there, trying to gauge her facial expressions, you don't pick up any misplaced confidence in herself. Whether that's just how good she is at selling the place is unclear.
Okay.
Yeah, you're able to hear everything, and then Raelynn, you get up and you start to head out.
Yeah, she'll just let Nyra know that she's heading out for the day, and that the performance apparently is sometime around 8 o'clock. So perhaps be together at 7.
Okay.
Okay.
I will. I want to try to go to a place I probably shouldn't try to, but I'm gonna try.
She's just gonna like look at you puzzled, but not press it because Lady's still around and she doesn't want to like out you. So, all right, enjoy your day.
You head out and you get dressed and dried off, and you head towards the front desk area to ask about the other rooms. And when you're there, you see that the guy who was clad in armor when you walked in is now still here, and he just kind of he's like leaned on the front desk, and it seems like he's just having a pleasant conversation with this tiefling, like as if he might come here a lot. And when you come in, he stops taking up the entire space and moves aside for you and allows you to talk to the young woman Caltrine at the desk. And she's just like, "Oh, did you enjoy your stay?"
It was wonderful. Thank you.
Oh, perfect. And Kelly was helpful to you?
Most helpful.
Okay. She's a bit new here, so that's good to hear. I'll be sure to let her know that. Did you need anything else?
Yes, I was wondering, so you mentioned that you have private rooms. We definitely understand that communal comes with our package at the tavern. Is there a way to see what they might look like, to see if we want to perhaps upgrade when we come back next?
Oh, yes. She's going to, again, like, she, like, chimes the little bell at the desk, and Hallie comes out from actually where the private area was, and she just looks at Caltrine for, like, instruction and says, oh, she like looks at the book. Yes, she would like to know about the rooms. Can you show her the largest one and then the one next to it? And Hallie's just like, yes. She just seems like really shy at the moment. Right this way, and you could tell that she's like definitely putting on a work smile as she leads you in through these other rooms. She first like goes around the corner, leads you down straight to the end of the hall. There seems to be 3 private rooms here that you can see. And And the one at the end of the hall has a very large bronze or copper like tub, and it's much more spacious than the one she's about to show you, but this one has like a little private basin area, and it has a mirror, and it has lots of plants, and it has very similar sort of plush decor to the inn across the road, except everything in here is like black with gold cracks going through as like an intentional design to it. And then she takes you to the next one. Smaller room, very similar situation. It doesn't have its own a wash basin area, but it does have a tub, and it has a privacy screen. These tubs are definitely large enough. They're like made large enough for more than one person. You can tell that just by looking at them. And Hallie turns towards you like very expectantly. Is there anything else you'd like to know? Because when you do have a private room, you're also able to order food and wine into it. If that is your sort of thing, that comes with the cost of the room.
Oh, perfect. Are there certain staff that come to the room that are trained to be private, just in case things may be happening? Conversations and conversations.
I know what you mean. I also know what you're getting at here.
Yeah.
She goes, only if we're quite busy, which usually doesn't happen until about like right near the end of a work day is probably our busiest time. So late afternoon, early evening, around that time, we will have at least 5 people here on staff for those hours, and none of us are specifically trained, but usually you will get assigned someone for that rooms who will wait on you the entire time that you're here.
Perfect. Sometimes, is Alina with her?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, never mind. I'm not gonna say that then.
I'll say that I stayed at like the front desk and you've gone to see like the private rooms. Say what you're gonna say. I want to hear
it. She's just gonna be like, sometimes there's patrons that prefer to try and woo my client. And I just wanted to know that things would be discreet. That's all I cared about. I'm sure that it's lovely and you take care of everyone equally well. And I appreciate that.
Hallie, though she's well trained, you could tell that there's like a lot of different thoughts going on in her head when you say that. And then she just gives you a polite nod and says, "Oh, I do understand that. We are discreet about our clientele. Of course, we do have to keep records of who comes and who goes for our own safety. But yes, that shouldn't be an issue for your client."
Perfect. Thank you. I'll keep that in mind going forward.
She gives you a bow.
Are there so in our room, for example, there was a lot of different sigils and arcane magic and things around here. Is that kind of the same, or is it a lot more like basic, what we're used to, taps and all that kind of stuff?
When she showed you the private room with its own like wash basin, you did see something that looks similar to the rune. This place definitely looks like it has different architecture compared to the building across the road, but similar design and function to it. Probably only Nyra and Vael would note that there is some sort of rune at the bottom of the hot tubs as well, which is causing it to like bubble up.
That's cool. Yeah, Raelynn will just thank her for her time and go back out to the front.
I will say that the lighting in here is all candle and lantern, from what you can see, like a little gas sort of lantern. They don't look like the magical dimming sconces that you saw at the tavern. All right. Yeah, you guys are free to regroup however you see fit, and let me know what everyone intends to do with their morning.
Well, once we're out, I would actually like to take an extra couple of minutes to try something else. I think first and foremost, I will switch up my outfit a little bit. Just so that it's not clear it's the same outfit kind of thing. And with that wagon wheel shaped token in my possession, I will find somewhere I can cast magic without being noticed. And I will sorry, Megan. I will shift my form into what's the most common amongst the like noble looking people around here? Or maybe not noble, but wealthy.
In terms of like race?
Yeah.
You've seen a lot of human.
That's what I thought. I will go with a good-looking, dark-haired human man in his late 30s.
Actually, can you give me in the tower? Actually, but it doesn't matter if it's in the tower. Just give me an investigation check.
Sure. Not great at those, but here we go.
Yeah. Okay. Don't worry about it.
Cool. Good-looking human man with
Yeah.
dark hair. Very like groomed, sort of like mustache and like goatee kind of thing. Very Count of Monte Cristo. Try to make a fancy outfit going, and he'll walk back into the Obsidian Veil. You don't like the Count of Monte Cristo? Get out of here.
All right.
Hello there.
Okay, give me a performance check or something.
Yeah,
I guess
absolutely.
with advantage because you're doing it with magic.
All right.
Actually, just you leave and you change and come back essentially.
Yes. Yep.
Hold on, I gotta write something down. I also need to know, where did you go to cast this magic?
Well, I don't know. If there's nowhere that immediately stands out to me as somewhere I can get away with doing that, then I'll just go across the street and go up to my room and hope to slip out unnoticed.
And is Vael still wearing his bracelet?
I think he'll continue to wear the bracelet, but keep it hidden.
Okay.
I want it there as a just in case, but I also don't want it to stand out immediately.
Yeah, and you guys haven't noticed anybody wearing these bracelets either. Like none of the common folk that you've run into have worn them. All right. Yeah, you come in. Hello. How may I help you?
Yes, I've heard very good things, if you know what I'm saying, and I just had to come and investigate the rumors of the lost the words because they're so close to the hollow vein, and he'll like place the token on the counter.
She's just like, I think you have the wrong place. This is the Obsidian Veil.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I was told that a tiefling woman by the name of Caltrine could show me the way.
She rings the little bell, and you can hear Hallie coming from somewhere in the building, and she's just like, "Who told you this? This is the second time today that I've had a strange interaction like this."
Well, it was another young tiefling, not dissimilar to yourself, red of skin, very beautiful. She said, well, I was in town. I should really come find her at the Hollow Vein.
Hallie comes in. Yes, Miss Caltrine?
Oh, you're Caltrine.
Yes, I am. She goes, just wait here one moment. And then she turns back to you, Vael, and says, I don't know what to make of that, but yes, I am Caltrine, and this is the second time today that I've been told that I've told someone something that I don't remember telling them.
She's not referring to Vael, right? 'Cause I don't think he let out any of the details of what he was confused about.
That depends, because you said something and then you took it back. I don't know what you took back. I think is the issue.
Well, I said things as a player in the moment.
Okay, so you never said anything about Caltrine?
I thought.
I don't remember exactly what I said, but no, I don't think Vael's addressed anything about there being another Caltrine.
I thought you did.
Really?
Yeah, I thought that's why she was.
That's what made her.
Because then you pulled Leif back and were like, let me talk to my manservant for 1 second after she was confused.
Fair enough.
You said something about Caltrine told me to something, and then she was like, I'm Caltrine.
Got it.
You were trying to get the private rooms for cheaper.
You didn't show her. I think you took back showing her the card.
Yeah, you took back showing her the card, but you did say something about Caltrine, and she was like, I'm Caltrine.
Got it. Perhaps it's a more common name than either of us realize.
Oh, I don't doubt that. It is just strange that that it's happening here at my workplace.
Right. So,
can you do me a favor? Like, if it seems like you might be leaving, she kind of just like grabs at your clothing.
Yeah, he was like about to take a step back, so he stops.
I don't even know how to. If you see this woman again, I would very much like to meet her.
Well, if I have the opportunity, I will be sure to arrange that.
Thank you.
And just to be clear, then you do not know the way to the Hollow Vein?
Actually, the Hollow Vein, she's going to, like, she just, like, give me 1 second, and she kind of, like, rummages around underneath the desk, and she pulls out 2 scrolls. She unfurls one and then realizes that's, like, the the state map and she closes it. She opens up the other one, which seems to be your general understanding of the city of Mornhold. And perception or investigation check from Vael
Yeah,
in the
let's
tower.
do that.
Okay. Yeah, as soon as she pulls that out and you're looking it over, and you see her finger trailing across it, nothing's really all that marked aside from the wards, and it seems like maybe a couple of taverns in the area. But then when she's trailing her finger across to a point on the map, that ends up being like on the border of what looks like the Glimmerfall and Arcane ward. She's like, yeah, it's like it's kind of like a shop for special and old and rare like inks and papers and arcane components for people who like to collect that sort of thing, or do research on like older magics.
Oh,
It's more
well,
it's kind of like a higher end almost like a gift shop of some sort.
how interesting.
Don't really go there unless you have the like frivolous money to spend, but and when the reason I got you to roll, when she points at that spot, you immediately make the connection that the map is like pointing to the same spot, like the little dot etching on the back of the card you were given.
Got it. Oh, well, that's very helpful of you. Thank you, Caltrine.
No problem. We weren't here for a bath then?
Well, no, not at the moment. Perhaps later in the evening. How late are you open?
We usually close around 6:30 or 7.
And is that a hard rule, or with the right coin, would you be open later?
It definitely seems like considerate. As long as you could pay fairly.
Good to know. Thank you very much. Oh, an associate of mine was accosted by a group the other night. Varying sizes, different kinds of people, but they all seem to have some sort of copper band around their waist. Do you know of any local groups who identify themselves in such a way?
No, but the city watch and the military have been stretched thin, and so people have been taking more advantage of that.
So some sort of local upstart of a gang, then.
Perhaps.
How unfortunate. The war is changing this country, and he just turns and walks out.
So while he's doing that, what is everybody else doing?
Where are we going, Raelynn?
I think she's just gonna wait around outside the bathhouse for a little bit to see if anyone is kind of like joining up with them and running into them.
You do see Vael come out and go back. You're outside.
She just shakes her head. She's like, I wanted to go to the field ward and double check, if Marnes
the field
was
ward?
actually. Sorry,
Aren't we in
the
the field
military
ward?
ward, the military ward, sort of
Got it.
thing. She wants to check that Alina's little boy toy is going to actually spread the word, and if not, she's going to, because he wasn't in the greatest shape today, and she's just going to kind of like talk to anyone that will and see if she can.
We should have made flyers.
I know, I was thinking that. I wonder, do you think they could magically make those in like a couple hours?
Maybe.
Maybe we should check for that first then? Or you could stand in the middle of a square and sing a song.
Not for free.
Oh, well then.
Tested.
I guess we'll just start walking around and your gorgeousness will attract everyone.
Oh, thank you. Yes, it'll be good to see more of the city.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I guess wait a couple more minutes to see if anyone else is coming or going. If Nyra is like heading off, she'll say goodbyes or whatever. And then I don't know what the heck Leif's doing, but then I guess we'll start heading out that way. Keep an eye out for tall boys.
Mhm.
What the heck are Nyra and Leif doing?
Well, I guess that depends on whether or not if Vael needs a bodyguard today or not.
It couldn't hurt. I do want to make my way over to the Hollow Vein, but I can also do that solo if you've got other things that are a higher priority.
Nyra wanted to go to the Arcane District, so she could go with Vael as backup if Leif wants to do stuff.
Feel like that. I don't know this city, of course, but I feel like the help is always overlooked, even if they are 7 feet tall. When you're in this sort of wealthy area. No, if we go in someplace and like, oh, this is the guy who carries stuff for me, all the attention will be on you.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I also want to do some digging about this group that accosted Kara.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my thoughts on the day. So anyone who wants to be a part of that, and we can also do whatever detour anyone else wants to do, as long as there's time.
I'll be keeping an eye out for tall guys, but I think it would probably be a better use of my skills if I went with Vael.
Okay. Nyra, you are wanting to go where exactly?
She wants to go to the temple.
Okay.
So she has specifically braided her hair back and has got like a wrap up around it so that the fire is less noticeable.
Do you if you're heading to the temple is in the Arcane Ward, right?
Yeah.
If you want to join us to do that, that's fine with me, unless you intend it to be a very long visit to the temple. No,
I probably won't be long. She does. We'll see what people are willing to tell her.
Fair enough.
And okay, so I got a good idea on you guys and Alina and Raelynn. You apart from spreading the word about Alina, what are your goals in going to like near the military ward? Is there anything specific you're like looking out for while you're there?
I'm trying to eavesdrop on rumors. Anything I can hear said in passing or things that can help us out. Seeing if I can hear anything like Kristana's name or like where people might be.
You're not seeking out people though to talk to. You're more like scouting, sort of getting the lay of the land situation.
Yeah, getting the lay of the land, eavesdropping, but we'll be talking to random strangers, but not anything important.
Okay. just because where the Hollow Vein is a lot further than getting to the military ward, because you kind of have to go up and around through the trade ward, because you'll find that you're not exactly allowed to just cut through the Glimmerfall ward without proper residency token. So we will start then with Alina and Raelynn. You guys head out on foot, considering that your horses are currently under the disguise of being Vaels. It's a big city. You got quite a walk
Is there
ahead of
any
you.
like public transport? Like, is there like a hop on, hop off bus?
As
There's
soon
that double deck one.
as soon as you
Right.
get into the trade ward, you do notice stuff like that, but it seems like the roads here are more either for walking or for like people who live here and are on horseback.
Oh, dang it! There's not like a subway system. We can't like get a map in the house.
Something wrong with your legs.
I thought this was an advanced civilization.
Shh, they can hear you.
No, that's just Dreamy talking.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you head up into the tavern ward, and if you actually are looking for that, you do notice that there is just like, it seems like there is this hopping on, hopping off sort of situation happening in the trade ward on these like double-decker things. The sides are just kind of open and like kind of like a city trolley situation. The horses aren't going very fast. And if you do attempt to do that, you can take a copper off of your inventory, and it seems like you're okay to do so. It's about like 2 hours or so before you start to see what looks like it might be the military ward. You can see tall towers poking over a 35-foot tall wall that is gating off this section of the city. There are different very large entrances. Some of them are closed, but then you kind of keep going, and you do see the odd one that is open, and you can see into like a courtyard. It seems like people are training outside, doing drills. Doesn't look like there's anything particularly special about these guards. They don't seem extra tall. They are all wearing what you notice to be like some of the like grunt level soldiers. However, each of them are standing with a more for like an exact direct comparison, like the woman that you had killed in the mountains, her armor is like more intricate, has this red sort of cape to it. There's always one of them standing with you would know them to be mages at this point. And you see this about 2 times as you're kind of passing by some of these areas that are open for viewing. Each of these gates has one of those little sort of automaton orbs right above it. Several people manning the gates. But would you like to roll me a perception check as you are listening out and walking through this area?
Do you want that in the tower?
Yes.
Okay.
And what languages do you guys speak?
I speak common sign language, and Elvish.
Common, Elvish, and Giant.
Okay. Well, you guys are kind of walking past this area. It definitely seems very intentional to you as you are like they don't seem to be like bothered by the fact that you guys are walking along this road that goes along the outer walls. It doesn't seem suspicious. Other people are around you. It's a very
We can get to
crowded
the edge,
area.
but we can't get like into the military ward.
Yeah, you can't get into the ward, and it doesn't seem to bother them that even as you're like looking in to see what they're doing, it doesn't seem like they notice you as suspicious. But it does seem like they only have the doors open for areas that they don't mind you seeing into. And you keep walking for like half an hour along this wall, almost like wondering to yourself at this point, is this even like gonna amount to anything? But then Raelynn, you hear this first. You hear some sort of commotion behind one of these closed doors. One of these closed gates, and then like a second later, it seems like the guards near the gate also seem to notice there's some movement up along the wall, and you now note that there's like the occasional patrol up along this military ward wall. And one person clad in armor like whistles sharply down at the people at the front gate and goes like this, and they start like dispersing, and they start asking people to like move out of the way of the gate. And these two double doors open up, and you see it's a very similar situation where there's like a space in between another gate on the other side that you could like kind of get locked into this wall if they wanted you to. A very large wagon with 4 horses pulling it comes out of the gate, and you can hear a lot of speaking. Raelynn, you don't note what language that is, but it does like ping as familiar to you for a second. But then Alina, you hear in Giant as they are passing by you, very panicked. You can hear things like, "He's bleeding out. We have to get him." And then somebody else chimes in common. Both of you hear this. "Yes, but we need to take him around back." And that's all you hear until this like wagon just like passes you guys down
Can
the
we
street.
see if he is in the wagon?
It seems like you can't, like it's a pretty closed off wagon. It's not open top. It's it has a door.
Okay, so it's
at
like
the
a covered
back.
wagon.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, you hear that as this wagon passes, and then looking in through the wall, you see just like the glimpse of a like tribal sort of tattoo that has a spiral sun on it. And that like immediately pings to you as some of the markings that you've noticed from people in Kaldbor. And
Do I know if that's like culturally specific or like family specific?
like what the markings and people in Kaldbor are.
Like
Those
that
would be like acts of like great feats. They would get like a tattoo for it. Oh yeah.
And the tattoo's on someone else that's tall, or we just
Yeah.
can only see their arm?
You see that, like as if somebody is just going
starts
up a
like up
set
here.
of stairs.
I'll grab onto Raelynn's arm.
Yeah.
This has been a fortuitous walk.
Mm-hmm. I think we have our answer. Do we see which way the wagon's going? Or is it like circling around to go into the back of this like barracks area?
It is going somewhere into the... It looks like it might be going to the arcane ward.
Gotcha.
Would you like to follow it, or should we keep walking and act casual?
I mean, we could do both. We just might not catch up to it right away.
All right, I think we're gonna try to casually follow a wagon.
Yes.
All right.
We must spread the word.
Just for fun. Can you give me either a performance or a stealth check as you guys are trying to tail this wagon?
Of course.
Oh, I forgot I have disadvantage on those. Oh well.
Oh no.
All right. So you guys are now keeping an eye out on it as you I feel like once in a while you have to like kind of sprint down an alleyway to keep tabs on it as it's going. But fortunately for all of you, even though people are like moving out of the way for this wagon so that it can get to where it needs to go faster, it does run into the odd grouping that allows you to then like catch up to it eventually. You follow it for... We're walking for like half an hour. You follow it for another 20 minutes or so into the arcane ward, which also has a gate, but it's like you're able to just walk in through it. They don't seem to pay you any mind as you go into it. And it seems to stop at a very tall, again, darkly colored building. Most of the things here are built out of that same stone, aside from the odd building that just seems to be of a completely different make. And as you see where it is stopping, it would be great if... Oh, there we go. You see it stopping at this very tall building, like maybe 20 stories tall, narrow, square and angular in design. It says on the front, the Arcan Hollow Repose.
What was that again? The what repose?
The Arcan Hollow Repose. And you see that there are people dressed in very light blue clothing. They seem to be on alert outside. And You would expect that it's about to stop at the front, but then you again hear some exchange of words from the inside, and it then pulls around to the back of the building down an alleyway instead. And there were two young women standing outside, and they follow this wagon around to the back of it. And very shortly after, another young woman comes running out of the front door, and she seems to be carrying a bunch of medical supplies with her. What would you guys like to do?
Maybe give it a wide berth and see if we can see them pull someone out of this wagon.
Surely we're not the only quote-unquote ambulance chasers. Like, this is come speeding down the road, someone else is going to stop and, like...
Yeah, there are
rubberneck.
people, like, nosy people, like, whispering and stuff like that about
You can be nosy.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we can even, like, flit close enough to a group to kind of overhear and maybe do that thing where, like, when you're all trying to, like, figure out what's going on, where, like, you get close enough and you kind of, like, join conversations. If we can, like, start swapping rumors with someone else.
Yep.
Right.
Maybe this is common. Maybe we don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you see this very grumpy, busybody old man just staring down at this cart that came through, and he had to move out of the way for it, and he just seems like all in a huff now. And he's like, they just think that they can do whatever they want with the roads, like there's no laws. Like, he's just grumpy about it. And there's like,
no, they nearly ran over my sister.
It's true.
You almost didn't even notice. There's like also just a old gnome lady standing next to him, and she like pokes out her head, and she kind of is adjusting the hair out of her face, and she goes, "Oh, this has been happening every week. The war just seems to be getting so many of those young men off the front lines." And she's like, she sounds like she's a little bit out of breath, like she might have also been chasing it down here too.
Oh, hold on, ma'am, and I'll kind of help her, like, settle her hair back down.
Oh, thank you, honey.
You would think something would be done. Either they would bring the healers there, or I don't know, they would, like, set aside a path to keep it clear. It's just it's too much trying to just be about and about the city.
It's actually ridiculous.
The old man is just like nodding, like, yeah. And she's like, "But why do you suppose they're going around the back instead of just taking them up the front like they normally do?"
I don't know. Do you think it's someone
Famous?
it's someone important?
Well, we should try to get a good look then, shouldn't we?
I think we should.
You lead the way. They're not going to notice you as much.
Yeah, she is going to try to stealth over across the street and be nosy. He is one of the most noticeable gnomes that you have ever seen, as she moves and pushes everyone across, like, out of her path. And tries to go around the corner of the building to peek down an alleyway. And she goes, "Oh, dang, I didn't bring my glasses. Can't even see a thing," she says as she's peering down.
Do you want on my shoulders?
I don't think that's gonna help, hun.
Okay.
She's squinting hard. But I'll let you guys keep your perception check, since you guys are still kind of technically looking out for the same thing. As you look down this alleyway, it's kind of dark here, and it doesn't seem like it was meant for intake of patients. Like, it's kind of gritty and not well kept. It's not even very well lit. and you see that there are now side doors open on this building, and the wagon has gone and turned itself around, so now the horses are facing you and you don't see the back of the wagon. However, as you guys are all like peeking down here, you do notice on like a sort of stretcher thing that two people are carrying. One of them very large, the other one struggling, a human size. And laid out on the stretcher is a very large humanoid. You don't recognize them, but you do note some bluish skin. They seem to be male. You can't make out a whole lot of details beyond their race and gender at this point, but they are heavily armored isn't what I'd say. There's a lot of armor on them in pieces, but like still a lot of exposed skin on them. So yeah, you guys witness that, and she's like, "What do you guys see down there?"
Not much. It's a soldier. I don't see any markings of note.
Well, what's so special about him then? She says, and she puts her hands on her hips and she starts going back across the road. Got my hopes up all for nothing, she says. She's just like complaining to anyone who she passes as she goes.
Even more of a nuisance, Raelynn will say to the old man.
But yeah, that was Raelynn and Alina's a little adventure into the military ward, or around it, rather.
Making furious mental notes to talk with Leif about.
Yup.
It is... Okay. We have a few more minutes. We will kind of pan back to the other party. You guys kind of had to go up and around the same way, but maybe you guys kind of left it off. Did you guys were kind of making it a point to be like, hey there, fellow person who stays at this inn, and now you're traveling in different groups, so did something like that happen again while you're now with Nyra?
Well, currently I don't look like myself anyway. And we kind of reconnected randomly in the street. I really don't think anyone from the Bronze Fist is going to notice us just connecting and walking in a direction together.
All right. You guys gotta head up through the field ward, then into the trade ward, and then to the arcane ward. Is there anything that any of you want to do on the way to one of your destinations?
I guess I want to keep my eyes open for anyone who might have, I don't know, local knowledge, like if I were to ask about a local gang, like whether there's, people who work out on the street or, who know, a guard on patrol maybe while I'm in disguise still over the next hour, I think it is, right? But
Okay.
yeah, just kind of keeping my eyes open for anyone who might have their ear to the ground kind of thing.
Okay, roll perception or insight if you're trying to like gauge people, and then Leif, roll a perception check in the tower for looking out for big people.
Gotta watch for them big people.
What does Vael plan to do after the hour?
When he's getting close, I think he'll try to find a place that's a little bit more secluded, somewhere with cover, even if he has to dip into a shop or something like so. Whatever he has to do to find a place where he's not going to be under immediate observation, and then just break concentration, shift back to himself.
Vael, you're having a difficult time clocking people today. It's just, you don't know if it's like something got in your head or like just the fact that like you're going through the trade board, which there's so many people here. And some of the people are like well-established shops here. Sorry, my throat is giving out on me. You have a lot of people traveling through, but then it seems like some of them are so familiar with the place. You could literally pick and choose anybody to talk to.
Fair enough. Do I see any guards on patrol?
Yeah.
Time to hydrate.
I would, but my glasses have been empty for a while.
Same.
So I think I will separate from the group for a minute. Like I'll signal that. Like I'm not going to just do it without notifying them. I'll let them know my intent, and then break away from the group and kind of approach the guard from a different angle, so as to not let on that I'm with that group, and just literally, walk up to one and say, "Excuse me, sir."
This very stocky looking woman turns around and is just like, it's ma'am, actually.
I am so sorry, my vision is fading me. One of my companions, I'm part of a traveling trade caravan, was accosted by a group of young people, each of them wearing some sort of copper band around their waist. Would you happen to know what group this might be? Is this an official city group? They tried to gain his belongings under the guise of working for the city.
She like sort of widens her stance and puts a hand on her sword as she thinks. Well, I didn't hear that they were claiming to work for the city, but there have been reports from people during our during their return session. Probably about the third one I've heard now, but they don't seem to have any particular pattern, and I don't know of any name associated with them.
Oh, well, would you happen to know how we could avoid such trouble in the future? It was quite alarming for someone who was not expecting to be accosted in the middle of the night over items of his own belonging.
Don't go to a lay beacon alone.
Oh, so they gather around the lay beacons, do they?
That is where you do a return session.
That makes sense. They weren't entirely clear on why they wanted his possessions.
Well, everything I've heard has been they seem to have some radical belief that the magic ain't returning right or something like that.
Well, that's troubling. Have they been violent with anyone?
Actually, no. Two of the people that reported it also reported a few days later that they got their items back. They also got paid for anything that they might have lost wage-wise for not having those items.
Oh, so they are at least on the level from what you understand?
Well, I don't know about that. You still can't steal stuff from people.
Well, I quite agree with you there.
They're also interfering with the lay beacon returns, which isn't good.
So they are probably causing trouble for a lot of people then. Perhaps the city guard should post some sort of bounty on them.
Yeah, maybe. I'm not one in charge to do that, but I'll mention it.
Oh, very good. Thank you for your information, ma'am.
Just had to get that in there so you can double up on your word.
Hey, I'm nothing if not enterprising, okay?
Maybe I will. All right.
If I will do it out of the goodness of my heart, but if I can do it out of the goodness of my heart and get paid, all the better.
All right. Well, you continue heading on through. You pass through the trade ward eventually, and that takes you a good hour or so, and then like another half an hour before you're like accosted immediately by more of a crowd in the arcane ward, and you're also noticing there's more guard presence here, and there's more. You can spot the occasional what you've now been told is like mage initiates, like the lower level people, just very very young mages. They all have the like maroon and navy coloring to their clothing. They're all very individualized in style, and as you're walking through the sward towards actually, where are you going? What's your first destination here? Are you going to the temple first or the
temple first?
Okay. That you can see, like, you see it through the buildings as you're walking. It just always kind of peeking out this very like circular symbol at the top of the building. Yeah. Do you guys like take the main roads mostly?
Yeah, blend with the crowd, I think, as much as possible, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're walking through the sword. It's beautiful here. There's just a level of care that is put into this ward more than you've seen in the field ward. And then the trade ward's kind of its own like chaotic mishmash of things put together, lots of different cultures. But this one seems very like cookie cutter in the way that they've specifically designed it. You are walking, yeah, you walk for about another 20 minutes and you see, Leif, you don't notice any people of your kind as you go, but you do notice that people are like they're looking up at you, and a couple of the guards seem to clock you and seem confused, but they don't say anything to you as you're walking through. You do feel like there are some eyes on you in this ward as you're walking. Thankfully, Nyra, because of that, and because of the extra step you took to like make yourself less noticeable, you aren't feeling super out of place here today. You guys do note some commotion down the street. A crowd gathering outside of a really tall, darkly colored building. that all seem to just be like trying to get a look at something. But your course kind of takes you in a different direction. And another 20 minutes of walking.
So I assume at this point I've found somewhere to break my concentration and return to...
Oh, fair enough. I thought that's what you did when you circled around. Yeah, I'll just assume that you were able to do that. Yeah. So you would look like you again?
No, I definitely wanted to talk to the guard looking like someone else still.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Trying
you
to
look...
draw as little attention to this form as possible for once.
But you do look like you now.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, another 20 minutes of walking, and you eventually the buildings start to like open up a little bit more spacious for some of the buildings, as it seems like there's a lot of foot traffic going in and out. You come across libraries, and it seems like also you come across something that looks like it has a large telescope coming out of the top of it, and then it's about 10 stories tall, and it just seems to have like an open front to it as well. People are coming and going freely. Lots of people here just have like piles of books in their arms, and some of them are just like walking with like as they're reading. And eventually you do come to this like fountain with a beautiful garden around it, and it has some statues outside, and there are some smaller buildings around the base of this very tall building that you've been trying to zero in on. And you can just see this beautiful sort of circular design going very high up into the sky. You can see now that you're closer, like you can see higher levels people walking around. Looks like there are rooms at almost every level of the floor, but they look like they're probably spaced out a lot, like really tall floors. And eventually you see some signage that reads the Spiral Archive, and Nyra, you immediately notice some of these statues here just depicting and reflecting stories of the god Aelris. You see just like a cloaked figure holding up the world, but the world is like sort of cracked open, like he's discovered it. And then there's another statue, similarly robed figure, and just holding out a like a statue of a book in his palms. And these statues are like 20 feet tall. They're just very intricate. There are like double doors leading up into the building. Seems like everyone's just coming and going as they please. But it is 8:09, so I think we'll take a break, and then we'll explore this temple to Aelris. So welcome back. So far our party has been gathering information all morning. Still pretty early in the day. You're making a lot of good time and progress. Raelynn and Alina had not a whole lot of luck with peering into the military ward itself. However, they did have a decent amount of luck when they followed a wagon hurrying out of the military ward, and Alina picked up that someone inside was speaking in Giant. You are very lucky that you have Siggy as a friend and chose that. They tracked them down and followed them to the Arcan Hollow Repose, which seemed to be some sort of hospital of some sort, except instead of going through the front, they seemed to discreetly take their patient inside around the side of the building, where Raelynn and Alina noted that they were bringing in what seemed to be a giant that was probably in the same clan as Siggy, if this is someone from Kaldbor, but the same type of giant. And then our other group made it up through the trade ward, and Vael has been slipping into another alternate identity on top of the one he's already pretending to be while he's here, and got a little sliver of information from one of the guards about the increase in trouble, and that they seem to be targeting people who are doing their return sessions alone at the lay beacons, in hopes to track down these people who messed with his new friend Kara. And now we are arriving at the Spiral Archive, which is very different from all of the buildings around it. All of the stone here is very light, like limestone almost. It feels very similar to home almost, to Nyra, like it, just the colors here and the very tall tower that's currently in front of her. You guys heading inside?
Mm-hmm. On the way, did we, now that we're in like an area where there's like some religious thing, is there any other smaller temples around?
Can you roll a perception check for me?
In the tower?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Now that you are like in this area where it seems like it's kind of converging on a specific type of function around the area, lots of people of study and learning, you do notice one-story buildings that look to be in a sort of structure that you would consider to be like maybe not the way that they do it in the desert, but in other areas of Hedgareth, like a small chapel sort of thing. You only notice two. One of them, just by the blue banners outside and the symbol etched onto them, you would notice that to be the moon god, Lyriel. And the other one is just like this. It's very similar, but it's like it's very open. Like the windows are completely open. And you can hear music coming from the inside. And it seems less rigid in its structure, and the people who are coming in and out of it seem less the studious type and more like you see painters and you see musicians with their I couldn't think of the word instrument for a second, strapped to their back. And you see above the door is a porcelain mask that is laughing. You don't see it being held by the four-fingered hand, though, for the art god Vaelin, also known as the Muse. Seems to be some sort of celebration going on, and these are like kind of tucked in between tall libraries, and like you pass a courthouse and it's like the moon god's temple is like an afterthought almost on the side of it. You don't notice Alis or Israel or Orin represented in this district.
That's what she thought. Okay.
Heathens.
Curious.
Mm.
You go inside, I guess.
You enter into this building. There is 2 stairwells. They kind of go up and around each other. One of them just goes up one floor, and the other one seems to go up further than that. But there is like a base to this floor. And when you enter, this seems to be like a sort of reception area. There is another statue of the Infinite Seeker. This one's just standing, looming over the space that you're in. The ceilings are tall in here, maybe like 40 feet tall. And there is like a sort of desk that people seem to go to, and then they go off with like a little small piece of parchment in their hand. Almost looks like a little welcome area. And then off to the right, there is a study. You can already just see the walls are lined with bookshelves, and there are people sitting at very ornately made tables, quietly studying. And then to the left, you hear a lecture taking place. And even from where you're standing, you can see that there are people sitting in bleachers, and then there's rows of desks, all facing the, like, I guess the front, where there is a human male. He looks to be maybe in his 50s, graying hair on the sides. It's all tied back. You can see faint like ink stains on his robes that are green and blue in color. Scattered in the audience, you can see elves, humans, gnomes. You see like one halfling who seems to have fallen asleep. And you note the occasional like young mage just sitting there listening. They don't seem to be writing anything down. And outside of this little hall, there is a like a kind of, I don't want to say a chalkboard because it's not a chalkboard, but it just some sort of stone board that they've etched on, and it says almost difficult to read. It says on divergence, and then colon the crucible of progress. What do you want to do?
Gosh, I'm not entirely sure now that I'm here. Is the desk got like pamphlets, like information about everything?
Yeah, if you go up to the desk, it looks like there's like a list of upcoming lectures, and then there is a book with guest names in it, with a little inkwell beside it, and then there are a bunch of pamphlets about the various floors and what you can find here. And when you look over that, the floor that you're currently on seems to be some sort of public lecture hall, whereas some of the upper floors seem to be like private rental studies for the hand of the Academy of the Hand. Then there is also a fourth floor to this building that says public archives. And the upper floors seem to be, some of them seem to be guest rooms for some of the people who come here to learn and stay here. And it just seems very like go ahead, like, and there's, you can see the plaques on the walls, like with sort of this mantra, let nothing stay hidden, and they just have this very open door sort of way about them.
There's nobody currently like here with us.
But there's a few people around, but they seem also to be guests here, not people who like work here.
I think in like a hushed voice, Vael will lean into Nyra and say, I thought they honored Phelan here higher.
That's what I thought, but obviously this city is different. Although they do recognize him. And Lariel. But not to the same degree. Maybe because this is where all the mages study.
That makes sense.
It is interesting that they also use a tower.
Well, as I understand it, a tower signifies that you are attempting to get close to the gods.
I guess I am curious as to what he has to do with all this business in the ley lines.
Aelris.
God of progress, Arcana.
Well, they're certainly drawing out power from the earth. Progress for the sake of progress, despite the consequences.
I was hoping to speak with a priest, but it does not seem to be their way.
Is that one up at the end not a priest?
Is lecturing on something.
And as you say that, you guys are like standing near this little information desk. You kind of overhear a bit of what he's saying, and you just hear him. You can kind of see that he paces around. There's like this design to the floor. It's like blue and circular, and he's like pacing just along the blue on the floor as he's trying to keep his train of thought. And he's just like, where discourse fails and divergence arises, that is where invention blooms. History shows us when thinkers and nations cannot agree, they do not stagnate. They adapt, they compete, they innovate. A society that fears division fears discovery. Debate, even violent disagreement, is not the death of knowledge, it is the crucible. We must not ask, how do we make all believe the same, but rather, how do we thrive in our disagreements? And you hear just this murmur in the crowd. Seems like some people are nodding, and others are like having conversations with themselves. But then a girl, maybe in 19 or 20, she's blonde, has this intricate updo, and she's wearing a lot of warm colors, each a piece of fabric, very like well placed, just as her strands of hair are, and her face looks flushed with restrained anger. And she goes, "With respect, Master Hale, that's an easy thing to say from this hall, but what of the damage left behind? Not every conflict makes us stronger. Some leave scars that last generations. Surely there are times when division tears things apart instead of building something new." And there's another just like murmuring happening. And there is a girl who comes and stands behind you. She's like also sort of near the door. And you notice immediately the red, the maroon fabric tucked in and wrapped around her, a blue skirt that goes down to the floor. But when she like kind of shifts, you can see that she's wearing like red pants underneath it. And she looks like she maybe was just recently crying, and she has her arms crossed as she's looking in. And when the girl says that, you can see just the slightest nod from her. This Master Hale that she referred to says, "Ah, the wound and the scar, yes, some divisions do harm, but tell me this, student. Was there ever a time in history where stagnation healed better than struggle? Did the greatest works arise from comfort or from necessity born of challenge?" There's some like scrawling on paper. "Look
Hold
upon
on,
the
I
past."
need to roll a self-control check
Oh,
here.
okay. All right. Excuse me. It does seem
No,
like there's like an open debate happening here, so it doesn't.
he doesn't want to draw attention to himself, and he looks like himself right now, so he's gonna hold it in, even though very much he disagrees with that statement.
He gestures behind him after saying that, and you see there seems to be newer maps of Savoran and Hedgareth plastered over like an older parchment behind it. "Look upon the past. Every age that advanced did so on the heels of upheaval. I do not claim it to be painless, only that it is unfortunately essential to moving forward." And the girl just like sits down. She's like, she seems like she's thoughtful about it, but there's still like a slight frown. But whatever just happened here, it seems to bring a conclusive close to the lecture. Some people shift and move. This older man kind of nudges the halfling that fell asleep, and they just like jolt awake, wipe off their spit, start heading out.
Vael just leans over to Nyra and just says, "I hate this place."
I will make a note. There is a girl who is a maid standing right behind you guys.
Yeah.
He says it anyway?
He says it anyway.
That is discourse, is it not?
Yes. and he is fine to make his argument, but he stands in a position of authority, which is the only reason he has sway over these people, and he convinces them of something that is fundamentally wrong, basing it on a belief that progress only happens under one circumstances under which it normally happens.
How come you didn't step in and say that?
Oh, I'm sorry. It's not my place to say. This is his temple, not mine. He can say as he wishes.
Well, that's what they do here. Next week, they're having someone who believes exact different from him.
Well, that's interesting.
And they seem to think so.
What do you think?
She's looking around right now. I think that a lot of people who say stuff like that don't actually have to live it.
You are exactly correct. Anyone who is so quick to point out the progress of struggle is not struggling.
He does have a point, though, which makes me angry.
Mm.
Yes. He has 10% of a point which he applies to 100% of circumstances. And because he's the fancy-dressed man at the head of the room, everyone listens. Makes me sick. I'll be outside.
Why does it make you angry, what he has to say?
Can you roll a persuasion check?
Oh, sure.
Do it.
You got it.
You have inspiration if you need it.
Yeah, I do have inspiration if I need it, DM.
You got a 15. You're
Okay.
good. That didn't have to be in the tower. She. What does Leif do when Vael leaves?
He just kind of watches him leave.
So confused.
I'm more interested in these more recent maps.
Are you going to go take a look at it?
If I can't see them well enough from here.
Yeah, you guys. It's like you guys are at the entrance of a lecture hall, looking into it, and so you would have to like kind of cross the room to where this man is standing. He seems to be like done just kind of closing up his notes for the day. This doesn't seem to be like his office though either.
I won't really pay him too much mind, but I'll go get a little bit closer and take a look at these maps.
So you wander off. Vael leaves. Nyra is standing here with this young.
I do want to be clear. I do go outside, but I remain within sight.
Okay.
It just goes back to the inn.
He's done.
Yes, the pregame.
Right?
I was actually gonna say like it's not like he's going out for a smoke or something. So like maybe he goes out and just like takes a swig from his flask.
She looks at Nyra and says, "Do you mind if we talk about this somewhere else?" And she kind of looks over at the other room there where there's like a couple of people studying at tables.
Of course.
She goes and sits down. She leaves space between the others and where you guys are sitting in this little corner near a bookshelf. So Vael, you do see that she walks. You're like keeping an eye out. walks off out of sight. And you sit in this room with her across the table, and she leans in and says, "It makes me angry because I've been having to struggle for so long without being told why I'm struggling. And yet I see it paying off, and I am losing friends to this stupid war.
Mm.
My best friend just died a few days ago.
I feel like I know who this is.
Oops. Did we do that?
I'm sorry for your loss.
We knew it was... These things happen. We're so close to the border of all of this happening. Of course, something would be lost. But I hate that it's helping them and hurting others. But at the same time, we can't all live peacefully. No one ever has, have they?
Not to my knowledge. There are times of peace, but
After all, someone has to have more than someone at some point, and not everyone's going to be happy about that, right?
this is true. People unhappy with their lives look to what others have and what they want.
She puts her face in her hands and says, "I don't even know why I'm telling you this. I've had a very long day. And it's only," she looks outside, "it's only morning."
Sometimes it is easier to talk to a stranger.
Suppose you have a point there.
What is your name?
Gemma. You?
Nyra.
That's
I hope you find peace. I hope we all do. And I am sorry about your friend.
Not like it was you who did it.
I will send a prayer to Lyriel and hope that your friend finds another chance.
Maybe you could ask him to get involved more than he is right now, too.
He kind of laughs a little. I don't know if you want the god of death to be involved that much, but I think we have to hope that things will work out and that it won't take so many lives for it to happen. And if this war is not where your heart is, then I hope you find a way to go after what your heart wants instead.
Maybe you should ask him to help me figure that out then.
I will.
She stands and she goes, "Nice meeting you."
You too.
She goes off and she kind of just seems like she's just running her fingers along the bookshelves, not really actually taking anything out. a little bit lost in thought. Leif, you are looking over this map that's kind of pinned to this back wall. The paper is much newer. You can see a little bits of paper poking out from behind it that looks older. And as you're looking it over, you do note some things that seem like they're freshly inked onto this parchment. You see Bastion Keep marked on the map. You see another thing that looks new is that there is the name The Gullet written underneath. Gosh, where are my notes on this?
Did they have very recently learned some things, or they just gave the old maps to the cannon fodder?
It says The Gullet underneath something that's been there for longer than the term The Gullet. It says Valeshka's Spine, which seems to be possibly their term for that mountain range. You see things that don't... where is it? You see the village of Erskold on there.
Could you give me that term for the gullet again?
Valeshka's Spine. Spell it however you want, and then that'll be what it is.
Pronunciation's more important anyway.
You see that there's a marking on the map for the Khaldun Hills, but then there is a newer marking on it that is like a symbol for what they've been using to mark like towns on the map. So like as if they just learned that there was a town on those hills. And you can actually see through the paper a little bit that there is a marking where the Savoran encampment was for a town. It's no longer there on this new map.
Temple's got up-to-date fucking maps.
Yeah, they do. That was like
Man,
3 days ago.
helps that they're in the military city, I suppose.
Yeah. I don't know what I'm going to do with that information, but I'm glad that I have it.
Anything else that you guys want to do while you're here?
Nyra will go outside to Vael after the conversation.
I'm going to realize that I'm by myself in here and then leave at some point. Like, where the... All right.
You're not hard to lose. We'll find you easy enough.
Right? Yeah, y'all know where I am, but I don't know where you are. Just a sea of short people.
You're stopped before you leave the lecture hall. Not like physically stopped, but you hear the same voice of the person who was giving the lecture, this Master Hale. He's putting a satchel over his shoulder as he says, "Do you come in From the north?
So he's talking to me.
As you look around, there's like one person sitting in here now, and they seem to be writing notes in a book with their head down.
If you go far back enough.
But you're human, right? I'm sorry. You're so tall.
I'm very tall. I get that a lot.
I'm not trying to be rude. I just this town has a lot of people coming and going through it, and so I like to keep an eye and an ear out for where people might be from, so I can get to know people better, faster.
No, I don't. If you're looking for news from the north, I don't have much. I spent most of my time on Zolkar until recently.
Yeah, well, just figured because there's lots of, smaller folk down south. He's just like grinning, and you can kind of see that he's blushing a little bit, like he's putting his foot in his mouth or something. Oh, well, I'll stop accosting you for being tall.
Don't feel too bad. You won't be the first one today, and you probably won't be the last.
Oh.
It comes with being like this.
Well, must come in handy when traveling through the city, though.
Doors can be a challenge sometimes.
But you could see right over everybody.
Oh yeah, that's nice. Very convenient. Be surprised the number of people who will pay you to put things up on high shelves for them.
I'll keep that in mind. What was your name?
Avi.
Avi.
Yours? I'll offer him a handshake. Or some gesture.
Archivist Hale is what you can call me.
Good to meet you. Do you speak here often?
Oh, and they'll let me. I tend to get a bit of a rile out of the crowd.
Yes. There were a couple of people who seems to consider you rather controversial based on their facial expressions.
I suppose. I tend to get that a lot. That's why I'm not really invited anywhere but the lecture halls, really, when I'm in town. But usually people do come around. I'm not saying that it's a good thing. It's just a factual thing.
Yeah, they're listening even if they don't like what they hear.
Well, then I'm doing my job. Well, good day, Abby.
Good day.
You guys kind of go out the door at the same time.
Yeah. Like, oh, I'm going that way too.
Yeah, you guys walk out through the building together as he walks through the courtyard, and you meet up with Nyra and Vael again. But before that, I want to go back to Alina and Raelynn, who have just gawked at a ambulance with some locals.
We're good people, I promise.
The
If you have to say it.
crowd is kind of dispersing a little bit now, though the old man does stick around a bit longer. It just seems like he doesn't really have anything else that he's.
This is his street corner that he watches.
Yeah. What are you guys going to do after this?
Well, Raelynn, is there anything else you wanted to see?
To be honest, I'm perfectly exhausted talking to this many people all day long. I've hit my quota.
Do you need to rest before tonight?
A little quiet time, I think, would be nice.
All right.
But is there anything you wanted to do?
I plan to do my digging for information tonight.
Is there anything I can do to help you with that?
No, I just hope with all the hype that the performance lives up to it.
You'll be fine. You were wonderful last night.
Thank you. You're doing a pretty great job as manager yourself.
Oh, don't say that. No, no.
You really are.
I'm trying. Should we... What time is it?
It's like late morning now at this point.
We've got tons of time.
Yeah, you have lots of
Should
time
we-
for the day.
Do a lap around, see if there's any interesting shops, and then head back. I don't know how much time you need to prepare for your instrument or your voice or do your hair.
Well, the bathhouse helped this morning. Remind me, we're in the arcane ward.
She
Pac-Man
got a
everywhere.
Street Fighter across the street right now.
We got a pinball machine.
Got my
in here.
coins!
Oh, they got Gauntlet Legends.
We're in the arcane ward.
Yes.
Okay. Look a couple of pages back. Oh, my pages are sticking together. My little rinky-dink map. Okay, that means we have to go all the way back through the trade ward to get to the field ward. So I think it's going to probably take us most of our time to walk back.
You'll get back to the, like, if you did a straight but like sort of meandering, not running through the city shot at it, it would be like you'd get there around 3-ish probably.
As we make our way through the trade ward, I want to see if I can pick up like a paper. I kind of want to skim at the information that the state is putting out to the people
Okay.
versus what we know has been happening up north and our view of things.
Mm-hmm. All right. Roll, I don't know, an investigation check or something. Perception, maybe?
Here's the mouse. Perception or investigation?
Mhm.
Okay, I'm gonna do perception. Hey! Hopefully that's not my only one of the night.
You're looking in the trade ward?
I want to pick up like a local paper and then listen into what people are talking about current events.
You're going through this, going through the trade ward. You don't see any sort of thing that's like handing out papers, but you do come across like a bulletin board that seems to have notices posted on it. It's about yeah, I think when you're leaving the arcane ward, you see the blackout happen. It's not as noticeable at night. None of the streetlights were on anyway at this time, but there is like this hum that you realized was there for a while, and then, or like you didn't realize was there, and then when it leaves, you're like, oh, like something just shifted at the moment. As you kind of pass into the trade ward. Takes you about an hour or so of walking before you find a bulletin board, and my throat starts dying again because I'm sick.
No die, please.
You notice a couple of things. Hold on. Give me a second. You notice a couple of like job postings. One of them is for a factory owned by the Fenwick family. They are paying fair coin for anyone who can help the influx of shipments going south. That is located in the field ward. You see a notice for a play that seems to be in town for the next week or so. Like till the end of the week. Like it's been here for a few days already. Located in the middle of the trade ward, and you see these depictions of these 3 tieflings. One of them is holding a mask. The other 2 are like gesturing grandly beside her.
Did the guys tell us what their tieflings looked like?
I don't know if they even told you that.
I don't think so. I don't even think you told us you like hooked up with the wrong person. Dang it.
Yeah, we don't
Yeah, I
know
don't
that
think
they
I gave you any
the wrong person,
about that
but
at
I know
all.
what the tieflings look like because I'm the one that invited them in and let them into the
Mhm.
tavern.
Yeah. But yes.
I saw one walk off with Vael. That's about it.
Mhm.
Is Raelynn also looking over this board
Yeah.
when Alina finds it?
Yeah, she's like taking note of all these things.
You notice the... Sorry, holy crap.
Take your time, don't worry.
The 3 tieflings depicted on this poster are the 3 that were with the other woman, but she is not there.
Okay. Is there a group name for this play? Like performed by?
Yeah, it is. I wrote it down somewhere. In one of my notes. I'll give that to you later.
Well, of course, we're going to go see the play.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's Stacy, Jessica, and Kimberly.
No, I'm very much hoping that this somehow ends up being like an Ember Island players play of our escapades so far.
We're not that good yet.
We never left any witnesses that we know of.
There might have been a cabbage merchant around the corner. We don't know.
I'm specifically looking for cabbage merchants.
They're called the Crimson Menagerie.
Got it.
The play name also is written in a very deep, beautiful purple. That says, wait, that's not the play name. Ashes to Empire. Alina, you're looking for news. It is very local. It's like names of farmers that you don't know. Like I've lost my cow. Like these sorts of things.
Oh my gosh, still being on Facebook. Or like next door.
Next door.
There's also a notice on the board from the military that says that there is a... What's the end of this week? What day is that? Trying to find my calendar here. The 21st. A new measure of security will come into effect for those traveling with trade documents. It doesn't say what it is, but that you do need to get your papers updated.
Did we use trade documents to get in?
Yes, we did.
You also note that public public protests are no longer allowed in the arcane ward, but can still be displayed in the trade ward or the field ward. And this seems to be an official document too. Has the castle with the eye on it.
Does it say why or who decreed it?
It does have a signature on it that looks like exactly the same to you as the one that was on your trade certificates, which you would, I think at this point, know that was Mervarn, Chancellor Mervarn. But yeah, that's what you find. You don't find like a paper being passed around with the news or anything like that. As you head back through the trade ward towards the Bronze Fist Inn. Anything you guys would like to do on your way back before I take the others over to their next destination?
Nope. You're good.
You said you were looking for things relating to Chastana. What specifically were you guys hoping for? Hoping to find on the way? Like, are you asking people or trying to like eavesdrop on people?
I think that's when we thought we could get into the military ward.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So plan B.
Yep. Follow an ambulance.
All right. So you guys leave the Spiral Archive. Now you do notice a couple of other places of worship on the way. It's kind of unclear as to what exactly it's dedicated to. You do see the symbol of Aelris, like as if people are possibly praying to them, but it also seems pretty small. But yeah, you continue on towards the Glimmerfall ward. Ward. Oh, go.
Sorry. When we stepped out, I just want to look over at Vael. Or, what is your new name? I keep forgetting.
Aelris Lyran.
How busy do we want the Bronze Fist to be tonight?
What an unexpected question.
Well, and she'll like lead you towards the Phelan temple. These people would provide quite a party if they knew about it.
Well, I would like to get to know a few more worshippers of Phelan, and I say the more the merrier.
Nyra's plan is to just go in there and gossip about like this new bard that's playing tonight, who's supposed to be like the greatest thing ever. I'm just hoping Vael will just like pump it up really well.
Yeah, I'm going to assist her in making sure they're all aware that this really shows promise, this up and coming new bard.
All right. You, yeah, I mean, the doors are open. People are like pouring in and out of here. It's just like kind of chaotic, very much what you might expect from those who seem to align themselves with like an art god of pleasure. And you notice a lot of the people here they're either like elvish or halfling, just people who are more geared towards like merriment and like the
Yes.
whole live, laugh, love because they have longer lives, and you know, but yeah, you're greeted almost immediately by this halfling woman, very tiny. She has this black choppy hair and like a blue streak at the front, and she's wearing just gaudy bright colors, but they're still all very beautifully designed clothing. They just don't look like they belong. And she, around her neck, she has this like cracked sort of half porcelain mask, and she's strumming loudly, and she seems to be pointing to people who, and they're like they're adding a line to a song, and that person adds their line to the song, and people are laughing at just this chaotic song that they're creating together. Before any of them really like pay you any mind, she's already looking at you, and she points at Vael, and she's like expectantly,
Well, let me roll a performance.
Yeah.
Yeah, you like just caught the context of one of these people talking about like nagging on their husband, and then you shoot back but like nagging on the wife, like almost like you guys are the wife and the husband, just like this chaotic song, and it just kind of transforms the whole theme of the song as you go. She stops strumming, and it doesn't even seem to affect the fact that everyone else continues to sing. And she walks up to you and she's like, "Welcome on in. I've never seen you here before, and I come here every day. Well, actually, I don't live here, but hi."
Well, hello there.
So cute.
We are just humble travelers, but we have a friend who is a let's say a patron of the arts, inspired by the god Phelan, and she is putting on one hell of a performance this evening, and we thought that others who appreciate the muse might want to come and appreciate her incredible song.
That's a long, fancy way of saying you want me to come to a party with my friends.
That's exactly it.
Oh. Like, she looked where she thought Leif's face would be, and then like looks up more.
To be fair, most Goliaths have a face in their belly as well. So. At least that's what I've been told.
Well, I mean, we were all disrobed together a couple hours ago.
And I was very surprised. Nobody else expecting a second face? Okay, just made it.
Yeah.
Krennic told them that. Um. Well, hold on. Any of you want to go to a party? And you hear just like unanimous, like, there's questions like, well, of course, yes. Oh, and like cheering, and then someone's like, where is it?
Oh, of course, the Bronze Fist.
And there's just like murmuring, and you see the girl tilt her head. A big party at the Bronze Fist. Oh, that's new.
Well, I don't know if you've heard, but that place has really blown up. It's worth the visit.
Well, I can't say that I'll be there, but everybody else will.
Why won't you be there?
Well, I like to stay here.
Surely, even someone who serves a god so faithfully must honor what the god stands for every now and then and get out to a party.
Yeah, but I like when people wander in here and I get them involved with the party as they come in.
Well, I can't argue with that.
Just so that we don't go to the wrong party, who's performing?
What was
Lena.
I know it was Alina, but did she have like a stage name she
Oh,
gave? Or was she
Misguard.
going by Alina?
Misguard.
Misguard?
Mhm.
It is the great and talented bard Misguard.
Well, that's a good name. It's kind of tempting. I'll think about it. She
Well,
is gonna
I
like
will see you there.
start strumming on her lute again. Well, thank you for the merriment, she says, and gives you a little bow.
And if I don't see you tonight, perhaps I may come back.
Yeah, I think I would like that.
Good.
You seem like a kindred spirit.
I think so. Though I haven't had an opportunity to have my questions answered yet.
Well, I'm always here.
Well then, until next time.
Gives each of you an over-exaggerated bow.
Return it just the same. Good.
Yeah, similarly. Vael will bow low and then take his leave.
All right.
Now to your place.
I feel like we've done so many things, but I'm also curious about what people were gathering around, and we got to go to the store, and we're also towards the end of the session. I want to get back to the rest of the group and unite the party.
Next
You
week.
guys have like not talked about anything that you
Yeah.
found
No.
yet.
Yeah.
All right, so you continue.
Mhm.
I swear I will get my shit together and organize this better.
I've been telling myself that about Somali for a year and a half. I hope you beat me to it.
Okay, there it is. Yeah, you head on through to the Hall of Vane. I know it's the like very end. We will end before anything really happens, I'm sure. But you come up to this upscale-looking boutique. The hollow vein, it's in silver writing on a purple wooden sign, though the facade of the building is all like stone. You can see like immediately in the windows there's like just this deep rich purple theme throughout it. You can see a soft glow of a lantern light coming from within. You head inside and there's a little, unless there's like a way you want to approach this, because you were brought, like I wouldn't blame you if you're like, no, I don't want to just walk in.
I'm not concerned. She definitely deceived me, but also slept with me, left peaceably, and left me a token. So it's like, I really don't expect we're about to be attacked.
All right, you head in. There's a little chime above the door. Lots of deep, darkly colored woods in here, like kind of like mahogany, sort of. And you smell incense as well. Different scents of it too. Like there's probably multiple sticks lit throughout here. No patrons inside, but near the back there is a medium-sized feathered figure standing, looking at you at the moment as you enter. Doesn't say anything, but yeah, you see you see a Kenku standing at the desk. None of you have ever seen a Kenku in your life, so it just looks like a large bird figure.
When you say large,
Like large for a bird to you.
You know,
fair enough, but it's still a small-sized creature.
Yeah.
Okay. Hello there. I'm Vael. Wait, not Vael. I'm Aelris. We agreed that doesn't
Is
matter.
it Aelris? Are you sure that's your fake name? Because that's the god name.
No, you're right. It's close though. Where did I put it? Aeolus.
Aeolus. Okay, so you say that, and then in response, you see these talons just start to move in symbols at you.
Oh no. We need Raelynn.
Let me know if there's anything you do in response to that in the next minute or so.
What I'm going to do is, with my arms behind my back, I'm going to slide that bracelet off and tuck it into a pocket.
Okay.
And then I'm going to subtle cast Comprehend Languages.
Okay. Cool. Does that... It's written and spelled.
For the duration, you understand the literal meaning of any language that you hear or see signed.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, they updated it when they added
sign
language. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, you do that, and you do that about like halfway through the symbols. Master's not here is what you pick up, and then their wing like kind of opens up and gestures to a door to the side that seems to go like behind.
Your master is through there? And who is your master?
Like more symbols. Who's asking?
Aevelus Lyran.
Customer is what you get back.
Yes, a customer and a friend, and I believe possibly more, and he'll slip the token out of his pocket and
Without even looking at it, the Kenku sweeps it off, like almost like taking it from you. It's just like gone.
That's just
I was gonna put that in my scrapbook.
Sign that.
holding on to that, but
Yep. Now you can't. Unless you have something you want to contest with.
does the Kenku do anything as it takes that token? Like,
Seems like it vanished. Like that's what happened.
like the token vanished?
Yeah.
No, but like, does it then sign anything else or gesture anything else, or?
Oh no, I was allowing you to react to that if you wanted to, but if you are fine with that, he seems fine now with answering your question. Seems to think about it for a second. Am I stalling? Yes, I am. Here we go.
Fine.
Take your time.
You get this signed back. Basha, we'll see you now.
And Vael's gonna point to that same door. Basha's in there.
Yep.
And Basha is master or separate from master?
Basha owns the Hollow Vein is what you get back.
All right. My friends are welcome to come with me.
What you get back is Basha would not be disturbed by them.
Go meet Vasha, guy.
I'm going into the back room to meet Vasha, who owns this place. You coming?
who is Vasha?
We'll find out.
The owner of this place.
Okay.
You guys go through this door. It goes through a purple curtain. The light beyond this point is even more dim, and all you're met with is this spiral staircase that goes down into below street level.
I 100% was guessing there was some underground tunnel below this place.
You continue going down for what seems like too long. Like, how deep is this?
As we're going, I'm gonna cast the invisibility.
That's good.
I just want to prepare.
Yeah,
This is
yeah,
weird.
yeah.
Okay, that allows you to see sensors and stuff too.
You can see creatures and objects that have the invisible condition as if they are visible, and you can see into the ethereal plane. And creatures and objects appear ghostly.
Scrying sensors
Usually
caught up in that.
Yeah, sorry,
Okay.
sensors are usually caught up in that.
You see about 4 of those on your way down.
Holy shit.
Security's important.
This is some
Sorry,
high
for
level-
what specifically?
Scrying sensors.
Yeah.
I will let Leif know in Dwarvish because I'm hoping less people speak that, and you have comprehend language, so you can understand.
Yep, I understand that as well.
There are a lot of scrying sensors on this path.
Hmm.
Oh, good.
think
No, I think we're okay.
Nyra looks so concerned.
I mean, they,
Okay.
there's at least one person who already knows we're going down these stairs.
I would say at least 4.
You continue on, and you come across this iron door with the same symbol from the paper that you had. It has a little slit on it. What?
I'm gonna give a quick knock. I'm just wondering why David's so concerned about walking back up.
Because it's gonna suck. That's a lot of stairs, man. I'm
There's a
thinking
lot of
about how
stairs.
Leif's gonna feel.
You can
We're
take
always
3
big
stairs
folk.
at a time.
Yeah, you'd be out there in 2 seconds.
Still a lot of vertical distance to cover.
You live in the mountains.
Not
You-
recently.
Lived. Yeah.
You immediately are met with the thing like sliding open again. And you're met with some very familiar eyes of the same Kanku that you saw just upstairs. And you can see beyond past them. It looks like you're like a plush sort of like lounge beyond there, and you kind of spot a bar. And then
Yeah, this is my kind of place.
you hear just a squawking like sort of noise come out of this creature's mouth as it asks you to hold out your hand.
All right.
In the slot. And he like moves back a little bit.
You're not going to hurt me, are you?
Now hold out your hand.
Sticks his hand through the slot.
You, as soon as you stick your hand through the slot, you feel like the sort of pulse from around it. All right, move. And like shoves your fingers back out. Closes it. Opens up this heavy door, and you do see like just this lounge, little booths with some of them are covered by curtains, some of them are open and empty. You hear a light chatter in the room, and now that you can fully see the bar, you see that the tiefling woman that you spent the night with is sitting there at the bar, smiling. Says, you made it. And I think that's where we're going to end the session for the night.
What a session. Oh my god. I know
This
you
is
were nervous about
speakeasy and I
tonight, but
love it.
like you did so many cool things in this fucking city.
You're gonna
Yeah.
miss my performance because you're all hanging out at a speakeasy,
It's
having a way
still
better
early.
time.
It's
It's
just
so
lunchtime.
Yeah, like we'll be
Still a little
there.
day drinking.
A little bit of breakfast
Girl,
again.
don't worry. I'll come back to cast enhance abilities on you. It'll be fine. I'm prepared.
I'll stare at anyone who doesn't clap.
I feel like I need to glam up for next week's session.
Oh.
I'll do a
fine.
few things if you do.
I mean, it is the first game of Pride, so.
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah, we'll be in
Yeah, I
June.
don't keep track of these things, but cool.